Welcome to GW Integrative Medicine, the podcast about disease prevention and health promotion from the Office of Integrative Medicine and Health at the George Washington University School of Medicine and Health Sciences.
I'm Dr. Lee Frame, Director of the Integrative Medicine programs here at GW.
And I'm Janet Rodriguez, the office's Administrative Director. Today, we're joined by Dahlia Kelada, founder and formulator at SALVE Naturals, a national all-natural and organic topical medicine company that was the first to make 100% natural plant-based topical medicines that are registered with the FDA as OTCs.
SALVE's mission is to promote healthier and sustainable living by creating clean and cruelty plant-based topicals that actually work. SALVE also provides community education on disease prevention.
Dahlia is a graduate of the GW School of Medicine and Health Sciences, where she earned a Master of Science in Health Sciences with a focus in integrative medicine.
Welcome to GW Integrative Medicine, Dahlia.
Hey there, I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you, especially as a graduate.
Yes, me too. I'm honored. Thanks a lot for thinking about me to do this.
Of course. So topical plant-based medicine. Why do people go for topical plant-based medicines over prescription or OTC, and what is it?
What is natural plant-based medicine?
Yeah.
Natural plant-based medicine is basically using anything that grows in the yard or in the field or on a tree or in a nut or a seed to use the components for medicinal purposes. So it's all traditional medicine, basically. You know, you see this all across Eastern countries and throughout Europe and the Middle Ages. They were making, salves and poultices out of plants and grinding them up and making medicine out of it. So I wanted to create a brand where we're creating the same kind of concept, but westernized, kind of bringing back the old school medicine.
So do you think part of the appeal of this is that it is actually something people were already using traditionally?
I believe so. I think there's an awakening now of going back to look at traditional medicines and seeing how we can utilize some of these, historically used successful medicines, like folklore medicine today. I think people are trying to look for more natural plant-based products because they haven't had success with traditional drugs. Sometimes they take ingestible medicines or topical steroids for issues, and they're just not seeing success. So whether they're looking for consumable plant-based medicines in supplement form or topicals, I do think that people are definitely seeking this because they just might think it works better or just works at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people have run out of options in your opinion with the Western mainstream world. Once you've gone to steroids, there's not really much beyond that. And so they're frustrated and trying to go backwards to what has worked in the past for maybe centuries.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the biggest concern that people come to me about, they're looking for a solution for eczema. Whether it's for them or their children. And I explain that, from an integrative medicine approach, we need to evaluate why someone has these issues. You can put products all day long, whether it's a prescription or a natural product, and it may help, but it will likely reoccur unless you get to the source of the problem. Those issues are usually gut or allergens or nutrient deficiencies, stress. There's a long list of things that can cause eczema.
It's an extremely good point. A lot of times there's some sort of inflammatory process underlying that. And like you're saying, if you just keep putting a cream on top, then that's just a Band-Aid solution.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe products like that can help you heal more quickly once you find the other solution.
I personally think so. But at the same time, if we create a natural topical ointment, it's still a Band-Aid, like you're saying. It's the same as an OTC or prescription medicine. But what's going to stop the problem from reoccurring? We can put Band-Aids all day long, but how do we fix the problem really from the inside out?
I love that. That's definitely the integrated perspective. We're trying to get the root cause of the disease, but making you comfortable in the process, making sure that your skin isn't flaring up in eczema while we're trying to figure that out.
That's right. Yeah.
So I have to ask you, one of the biggest trends in topicals or in beauty right now, if you've gone to Sephora or any drugstore, you will see it everywhere. It's CBD.
Yep.
What is with CBD?
It's a fad. Some would say it's here to stay. That's my biggest customer right now. So I need to be careful what I say. But it's, I think that there's an awareness of, going back to plant-based medicine again, looking at cannabis and trying to see how we can extract compounds that can provide some health benefits. Everyone knows about the smokable marijuana and THC and CBD and all that. But the thing now is people are trying to create the same or similar benefit using topical products. So I've seen an evolution in my business. We're 8 years old, 2012. We started in 2012. So I've seen an evolution in the past year with regard to CBD topicals. Mind you, we do not create CBD products. One of the services that we offer is to custom formulate topical bases for hemp farmers and CBD extractors to add their own CBD material that they either brand or offer as private label themselves. But a year ago, it seemed like everyone only wanted salves, but until we're still getting requests for salves. We are still getting requests for salves, but lately there's been a huge increase for us to formulate high-end prestige brand, plant-based anti-aging and beauty care products like what would go into Sephora, like you're saying. We actually have a customer that's trying to get into Sephora using our products, and then they add CBD to it. So it is definitely a thing. And I get phone calls every day. I want something for aging skin. I want something for dry skin, or I've got somebody with acne and I know that this CBD product will help with that. So it's kind of exciting to join this trendy thing that's happening, and just kind of roll with the punches. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's definitely some science behind that that's coming. I know the interim director chair of the Department of Dermatology here at GW actually recently did a piece about the use of CBD topicals in skin inflammation and in eczema.
Mm-hmm.
So there's emerging research saying that maybe it does actually have something to it, but
Mm-hmm.
not for anti-aging. So is that due to a lack of research, or do you think that
To
we're
be
just
quite
looking in the
honest,
wrong?
this is that fad thing coming up. It's that
Mm-hmm.
marketing ploy. Let me just use that buzzword and get people to buy our product,
Mm-hmm.
And these products are premium products, are really high end to begin with. And then you add an expensive ingredient like CBD. It's just like, wow, it's fashionable, I guess you could say.
Got it.
Yeah.
And that makes perfect sense, particularly with my knowledge of skincare. That seems to be how it works, and it's constantly evolving. At one point, it was argan oil, and now that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of passé. And we had various different oils and ingredients that kind of come and go, as you're saying, as a fad. But I guess what sticks is what is actually
Mm-hmm.
coming out in terms of it's working, or we have
Exactly.
literature behind it.
Yep. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing literature behind this. I think it'll support the efficacy of not only CBD, but using plant-based topicals as a solution for pain and eczema and a variety of other ailments that people are complaining about. I had a request this week about putting a type of compound from cannabis that will help with preventing or reducing the amount of acne. But again, going back to our previous discussion, it's just a Band-Aid, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting to see how data will present itself over the time to see, is it something that's more underlying, or can these things be addressed topically?
Absolutely. So when you're making your products, what makes it difficult to make a natural product, and does that have anything to do with why they tend to be more expensive?
That's a great question. When we look into making a product, we try to source the best quality ingredients we can find. And because they're plant-based, we really go down to like, what's the growing season like? We're literally working with farmers to get materials. So what is the growing season like? Did you have a bad rain season? Did your crop get damaged? Was there a fire? How much crop is available? The time that I order the materials, is that something that was recently harvested, or is it from previous season? So
Mm,
there's a lot of factors on the material itself being costly, but also the availability being a challenge too.
very interesting. And does any of that have to do with the natural versus synthetic difference?
Definitely. I think people are wanting to have the natural product, and the availability of that is a little bit more scarce versus synthetic. You can make it 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter if you're in Arctic temperatures or in the middle of the rainforest, you can make that stuff. So yeah, there's availability is really what comes down to price. But also you'll notice that smaller companies are the ones that are producing natural products. And the larger companies are trying to make a dollar, right? So they're mass consuming products to get greater market share. So it's definitely a marketing ploy, but a natural skincare manufacturer really cares about the ingredients, what's going in them, the source of them, and then just providing you with a quality product that you're going to come back for. They're not just trying to do an exchange of goods and services. They want loyalty, and that's what we want.
Dahlia, how has COVID-19 affected your supply chains?
Oh, big time. I think the biggest issue is shipping lead times. Man, things sit in customs for a long, long time before they get here.
Right.
So we do a lot out of India. They have a really great farming industry out there for some really remarkable organic ingredients out of India. So that's one of our largest suppliers. And so we'll place an order. They have the product, but then it just sits for a month or a month and a half in 3 different countries before we get it. So there's definitely a delay. I've also noticed delays in packaging, making sure we can have packaging available, just because of shipping and manufacturing processes have been delayed all over the place. So it's kind of a challenge. Yeah.
So since I've introduced the COVID word,
shame.
I know. So my hands are constantly chapped because I've become quite OCD about washing them. I've cut back on my use of the alcohol stuff. What do you call that stuff?
Sanitizer.
Yes, the hand sanitizer. And I'm seeing some improvement, but it's like normally I would lotion up. I have all types of things. But now I'm kind of like, why lotion up when I'm going to have to, wash my hands in, 2 minutes anyway?
Yeah.
What is your advice for skincare during COVID-19? And what are people asking you for? And
well, I will say what you're doing is damaging your skin by putting all those things on you. Not only is there an issue of antibiotic resistance, which, is a big deal to me personally, but you're actually damaging the oil production on the skin, which is why you're dry. So you have to replenish that oil. If you're putting a lotion on, you're using an oil and water emulsion. So it's usually at least 50 to 60% or more water content. Water's good, but it evaporates. So I would encourage you to try something like from the grocery store. Like my favorite thing is avocado oil. Just go buy some avocado oil and rub it on. It's a great humectant, keeps moisture in. It's very soothing and conditioning to the skin, and it stays on. It's a great moisturizer. I highly encourage that. I mean, why go buy? I'm going against my own business, but why go buy ingredients and go buy cosmetic formulas when you can just go buy a plant extract? Go get some oil.
Right. Well, save your products for like before bed when they're going to sit there all night.
Yeah. Well, I like to use mine from a medicinal perspective. If you're trying to like put it all over your body, just go buy avocado oil. I don't like coconut. Coconut will clog your pores and just not absorb. Olive oil stinks. I think the best is avocado or almond oil.
Ooh, almond oil smells good.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we think about grapeseed oil?
Grapeseed oil is good. It's very similar to the sebum that we produce naturally on the skin, much like jojoba. They're very similar types of oil that we naturally produce. It'll absorb well. It's a great massage type oil. You can use it all over your face.
Excellent.
It'll
I just
help.
bought a big bottle of it.
It's a great product for sure.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, those are really great tips. And I think particularly in times now where we're all very stressed and perhaps stressed financially, having some cost-saving measures is always good.
Dahlia, we forgot to ask you the most important question.
Yeah?
How did you get into this?
Oh gosh. Yeah. This is a complicated question. I started the business in 2012. I've always been an entrepreneur. My background is actually in marketing and product development. So I've spent 20 something years, doing marketing. And I was faced with a couple issues. One was I was diagnosed with a degenerative cornea disease and was basically told, you're going to need some transplants here soon. And, when you're young, at the time I was young, it's depressing. And you kind of go through this crisis of, well, what the heck am I going to do to support myself? I can't sit here and depend on my eyes to do marketing all day long for everybody else. So I went through a little depressive state with that. And then at the same time, I was going through an issue with my HPA access. So my stress response system was just not functioning properly. And at that time, somebody I was working with basically said, you should go try my naturopath. And I said, well, what the heck is a naturopath? I had no idea, but I was open to it because I was to the point where I really felt like I was going to go check myself into a hospital. I really felt that bad. It was a big deal. Plus the eye thing on top of that, it was just like slap from this direction, slap from that direction, let me push you down. So it was rough. And the naturopath introduced whole food supplements to me and different techniques of nutrition. And till this day, I always felt like that experience saved me. And I've been sort of obsessed with plant-based medicine ever since. And I also have my own issues like with tendonitis and, because I can't walk properly. But it's a combination of multiple things, mostly me having issues, wanting to solve them naturally. Mm-hmm. And so from the topical medicine perspective, it came about with, I wanted to create a topical medicine line, entrepreneurial spirit. Here we go. So I like natural medicine. I've never made products before. And I had an experience when I was in Europe, and I have really debilitating tendonitis that occurred in my feet because I have a terrible gait. And I had a flare up, and I went to, they're really big into plant-based medicine over there. I don't know if you guys have been to England, but I had an incident, and I went into a little apothecary over there, and it's like, you need this and you need this. So I went back to my hotel and I put it on. I'm like, holy shnikes, I love this stuff. I said, I this is amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this? So I said, I have to go get some more. So I went back there and I said, well, can you mail this to the US? Oh yeah. No, they don't, because of the way they brand it, FDA won't allow it. Yeah. So I created my own version. I call it achy, but it's for muscle pain, joint pain, and tendonitis and issues like that. So all the products that I make that are medicinal, I really made them for me because I have all these problems and I'm just sharing them with everybody. But yeah. So so it's a combination of my health crises, introducing me to plant-based medicine, combining it with, what am I going to do if I can't use my eyes? And
necessity is the mother of invention, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, I never in a million years thought I'd be making topical medicine or skincare ever. It never, ever, ever crossed my mind. It's just one day. And then I had a dream with the name. It came to me in a dream, and there we go. It started the whole thing. Now you can't go back. You should see our lab. It's ridiculous.
So, Dahlia, what is next for you? What are you looking forward to in the future? I know that we've talked a little bit about research, so I'm thinking that's in there. But what are your plans?
At this point, the COVID thing kind of disrupted all my vision for what I had in mind for this year. We were looking at moving into a facility that got thrown to the ground. We had some really big projects, international projects that we were working on that got thrown to the ground. So at this point, I'm just going to roll with the punches. Yes, everyone's got these, they have to have a goal. My goal is just to keep my people employed and keep my business going. And I can only do that right now. Ideally, I'd like to develop, we're in the process of creating more brands under the SALVE Natural company. We've got multiple brands that we're putting out. But ideally, my objective here is to grow our business from a B2B perspective and continue custom formulating and providing people with awesome products.
That sounds like a great
Yeah.
goal. And you are not alone in that. I think we could all say that our vision and our goal has been disrupted by COVID. But it's all in how you handle it. And it sounds like you have a great perspective and a good plan.
Yeah, it's good teamwork too. It's everyone knowing that there's a crisis happening. Like, look at the unemployment. Everyone wants to work, and everyone has that as their motivation. So I have a fantastic team. I couldn't ask for a better group of people to work with me, and I'm very blessed. And with their attitude and their commitment, we're gonna get through this just fine. I'm not worried about it.
That's great. Positive attitude, also really important.
Definitely. Hey, Dahlia, how did you find GW's integrative medicine programs?
Well, I was going to the path of looking for becoming a naturopathic doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in Houston, Texas. So I was looking at a variety of schools in the U.S. and in Canada, Toronto, actually. And there's great programs all over the country, except they're traditional physician type classes where you go in, you have your clinic, you have your medical school program, basically. And me being in Houston and having this business, I couldn't do this program remotely. So I was looking for a solution that completely met my interest. That wasn't just fluff. I wasn't pursuing this degree just to get a degree. That wasn't it for me. It was completely personal development. And I'm not using it to promote anything. I'm just using it for my education. And if I can provide educated responses to people who are coming to me for, medical questions, or why should, eczema, for example, perfect example, people come to me for all kinds of really weird things. I want to be able to back that up with, science, evidence-based, logic. And I'm really excited about my experience at GW. Every single class provided outstanding perspective that I never had before. And I loved every minute of it. It was hard. You guys kicked my butt. There's no question about that. I was like, what do you mean I have to read 12 pages in 1 hour? Like, what? Yeah, it was rough. It took me a long time to get through it because I'm so busy, but I'm truly grateful for the opportunity. And again, I learned things that I would never self-teach myself outside of this program. It was fantastic. I loved it. The whole thing was awesome.
Oh, that's music to my ears. I love it. And it's true. It's a difficult program because there's so much to learn. How could you learn all of this in 2 years? But
it took me 3.5 years to get through this program.
And that's totally okay, right? That's the great thing about having an online remote program is you can self-pace it and you can be a full-time employed or even own your own business like you and get through it.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really glad to hear that you had such a great experience. That's definitely what we are trying to do. We don't want to totally overwhelm you, but we're trying to get as much information to you as possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the amount of content, information, and resources are just outstanding. I've saved everything. I went class by class and I saved all the links, all the conversations I had, all the feedback I got from instructors. I have like a repertoire of materials now I can go back and reference. And I've actually created presentations that I share with the community out here in Houston when we do like integrative medicine classes. I leverage a lot of my education and, things that I've learned in this program. I mean, really happy with it, honestly. It's a great
that's
program.
Great. I love to hear that, we're training the trainers. You're going out there and spreading the education to others. That's fantastic. I couldn't be happier. Well, I think that might be all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Dahlia.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You rock.
Yeah. Oh, you rock too. Thanks.
Thanks for working with us to make this happen.
Oh, my pleasure. Happy to get on anytime you want to chat. No worries at all.
All right. This is the GW Integrative Medicine podcast from the GW Office of Integrative Medicine and Health.
I'm Dr. Lee Frame.
And I'm Janet Rodriguez. Thanks for listening.